Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my friends from the Sugar Network. My name is Ben, and I'm here with Bisheng from KIT, and we are super excited to present our sugar project to you all. Its name is Arke. This is our team. We are Pacific Salt, made up of Oren, Ella, and myself from Swindon, as well as Kagari, Olivia, Tamaki, and Bisheng from Kyoto Institute of Technology in Japan. Before we dive into the presentation, we would like to thank our industry partner, Arke Gas Chemicals, for their help and guidance throughout this program. We're really happy with the outcome, and we know they are too. Arke Gas Chemicals came to us with a new material they developed called fluorine cellulose fiber, or FLCF. But what is it? Simply put, it's a new biomass material made from the long cellulose fibers of trees and altered so that it can be immersed within and strengthen plastics and resins. As you can see, it has an excellent range of properties. On average, it can increase the strength of a plastic or resin by 30%. It can be recycled at least 5 times without loss of strength and is completely biodegradable, as well as even injection moldable. Now, FLCF is still early in development, with limited testing and currently no product on the market. So this meant our sugar program became a 2-part challenge. Firstly, we needed to identify the market for FLCF, which can help direct the next round of R&D. And second, we needed to design a product and a vision for what FLCF could do in 2030. These challenges relate directly to the material development process and will help our partner OGC direct the next steps in development and commercialization. So, what market did we choose? Well, in recent years, the electric bike and scooter market has been going through a massive expansion. The dockless share scooters alone have accumulated over 300 million trips in only 2 years. This rapid expansion has sparked a new collective term for small transportation called micromobility. It includes just about any small single-person transport option, electric or otherwise. People are starting to see the value in small transportation. 70% said they were willing to switch to a form of micromobility for their daily commute. And in response, micromobility designs are changing rapidly to suit our needs as we collectively challenge how and why we travel. We recognize that FLCF might be a huge player in this space. Using FLCF, we can improve the resource efficiency of e-mobility, lowering the weight of the mobility solutions through a process like topology optimization, which reduces weight and energy loss during use. We think we can also decrease the complexity of designs, allowing for easier repair and recyclability. Despite the rapid growth, many users are still hesitant to use micromobility, so we think we can create a fun, new and inclusive way to travel. And that's why we created Arke. A compact, all-terrain micromobility solution for Japan that allows our users to choose their own adventure on a daily basis. Now, rather than telling you about it, let's just show you how Arke works. We designed Arke with 2 demographics in mind. For foreigners who wanted to explore Japan and experience the new culture, as well as young local Japanese people who are excited about micromobility and willing to take on new risks and technology. Through a series of co-design workshops, we identified a series of keywords and collected images that represented our users' style and aesthetics. These words and images inspired the colors and material palette of Arke and encouraged us to trial new ideas and materials like that sculpted wooden board. The board and style of riding itself were inspired by the new popularity of skating and surfing in Japan after the Tokyo Olympics, where Japanese athletes took home gold and silver medals across both disciplines. The handle and stem of Arke took inspiration from Torii, the beautiful and iconic traditional gates seen in Japan. Now, Arke has a number of distinct features and considerations, each a response to the wishes of our users. We created a small video to demonstrate. Arke's 4-wheeled base allows our users to stand and get their balance on the board before needing to take off. we chose soft, all-terrain wheels to allow our users to take on anything in their path. Each of our user testers rode in a different way, so we designed Arke to allow them to ride in the way that felt most intuitive. Arke's handles have a soft grip and indication lights built in, allowing our users to safely and comfortably navigate the world around them, not to mention at a top speed of 40 km per hour. Built into Arke are a set of head and tail lights to keep our users safe at night. We think of Arke as an e-skate scooter hybrid that will hopefully be your new sidekick on your way to work or a weekend adventure. There are also a number of other features that we were unable to include in the current prototype, but have designed for the next iteration of Arke, like this bag holder. In future, we would hopefully have a universal bag attachment to allow our users to grab their groceries on the go or take a day trip out to explore the city. We would also have an inbuilt navigation system so our users could explore with confidence, a handlebar extension so our adventurers can ride in their own style, and finally, a folding mechanism to allow Arke to be stowed away when not in use. Now, counter to what you might think, Arke is steered primarily through weight distribution. The handle comes as a point of stability, safety, and confidence. We found that virtually all our users did not feel comfortable riding a skateboard or surfboard, but however, it looked like fun and they would love to know how. This is the true power of Arke, bringing skating and surfing to everyone disguised as an e-mobility solution. Arke is a stepping stone that facilitates the joy and experience of those sports in a way where our users feel safe and confident at all times. Now, that's all about the experience, but what about FLCF? Let me pass over to Bisheng so he can explore those details.
Thanks, Ben. After listening to Ben's introduction on Arke, I'm sure you are thinking how this relates to the material we utilize, FLCF. Where and why does this fit into Arke's build? E-scooters today are comprised of heaps of small parts and complex construction. This prevents them from being easily repaired, recycled, and disposed of sustainably. So we utilize topology optimization to create Arke's main base and streams will be 3D printed and made of FLCF. So what exactly does the Arke consisting of FLCF bring to the table? First of all, this significantly lowers Arke's environmental impact. The weight reduction reduces the energy used on each trip and almost nullifies the use of metals that have the highest manufacturing emissions of any materials within the current mobility space. That structure forms the main scaffold on which all the other elements of Arke are molded. This frame drastically simplifies Arke's build process, optimizes material conservation, and allows for easy repair and disassembly. We hope that in the future, if damaged Arke's FLCF structure could be melted down and reprinted, ready to go again. So generative design and FLCF filament development comes out. These are also the core technology of Arke making. The FLCF structure you see at the base of the board was created through generative design, where a computer calculates the structure of an object and uses as little as raw material as possible while maintaining the required strength. It can maximize the value of FLCF, and we were able to design a structure that can hold someone weighing 100 kilograms. And look how incredible and futuristic it looks. Over the course of the program, we were determined to develop a new way to utilize FLCF. Using FLCF pellets, we wondered whether we could create a filament for 3D printing. And we are proud to say that for the first time ever, we have been able to create a 3D printable filament using FLCF. We went through many interactions and affiliates, spent a lot of effort on finding the suitable FLCF concentration, finally succeed in preparing FLCF filament that can be 3D printed, which allow us to 3D print the generative design base you can see here. Our recommendation is that OGC is to focus their R&D on 3D printing and biofilm, as there is already a huge interest in that space and it will only grow with the power of generative design. And then to keep an eye on the micromobility space to see where they can innovate with their technology. And that industry is projected to reach a valuation of over $300 billion by 2030. We believe that with the development of technology and society, technologies like 3D printing and filament manufacturing will become more and more mature and will be soon creating better quality products. Water project. During these 9 months, learn about a brand new biomaterial, explore the various markets based on its adventures, and fund micromobility. We designed a new version and a mobility solution for 2030 and showcase the possible power of exoplanets. And finally, and for the first time, we were able to develop 3D printing filament using FLCF. We hope that OGC will get biofilament into the market as soon as possible, and then we will see the Arke enter millions of households, allow millions of tourists to embark on their own adventure across Japan. That's the end of the presentation. We are Pacific Sword. Thank you for your listening.